Welcome back to our channel, Exposing the Great Australian Government. In today's video, I will be reading Total Banking Fraud, a document that Dick has put together to try and help educate the people on what these purported politicians and political parties have done to sidestep our primary law, the Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901 as proclaimed and gazetted, under the Royal Coat of Arms. Plato has a good quote. One of the penalties of refusing to participate in politics is that you end up being governed by your inferiors. Let's get into it. Total banking fraud. Treasonous political parties removed all the living from their acts in 1973 and created us all as statutory entities, John Doe and Jane Doe, in all caps. This Royal Commission is a total fraud. The Royal Commission into Misconduct in the Banking, Superannuation and Financial Services Industry, Financial Services Royal Commission, was established in December 2017. Now therefore we do, by our letters patent issued in our name by our Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia on the advice of the Federal Executive Council and under the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Australia, the Royal Commissions Act 1902 and every other enabling power appoint you to be a commission of inquiry and require and authorise you to inquire into the following matters. Statutory Law and Justice Legislation Amendment Act 1988, Commonwealth Act number 20 of number 120 of 1988, which amended Judiciary Act 1903 number 6, section 80, Common Law to govern, replacing Common Law of England with Common Law in Australia, which we've already previously done a video on. This is total treason, and the political parties High Court of Australia are of knowledge, as they use 5 different common laws in one court case. Ignorance of the law is no defence. The Fraudulent Statutory Commission for the so-called Governor-General Commission. This is Statutory Commission of Fraud, passed under the Royal Sign Manual and the Great Seal of Australia, appointing General Peter John Cosgrove, ACMC, retired, to be the Governor-General of the Commonwealth of Australia. Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of Australia and her other realms and territories, head of the Commonwealth, to Peter John Cosgrove, Companion of the Order of Australia, Military Cross. This so-called man, Peter Cosgrove, is a traitor. His commission under the Queen of Australia, the statutory entity created by treasonous political parties in 1973. This so-called Governor-General sits in treason and has no crown and constitutional authority. This clown is owned and controlled by treasonous political parties. So-called Governor-General Cosgrove is just a statutory entity. Also, by using the Royal Commissions Act 1902, which is a Common Law of England Act and had Crown and constitutional authority, your so-called Statutory Royal Commission Act compilation is an act of treason. And here we've got a statutory seal, which is the rat and the chook, the kangaroo and the emu, with their Roman laurel wreath underneath. This seal is total fraud. In the original royal warrant, this is a public functionary seal to be used in order that our officers of arms and all other public functionaries whom it may concern may take full notice and have knowledge thereof in their several and respective departments. The above fraudulent seal has the Roman laurel wreath under the treasonous political party's definition of their Australia, created in 1973. All acts from 1960 forward are statutory, as they don't have crown and constitutional authority. Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, Queen of Australia, and her other realms and territories, head of the Commonwealth. 2. The Honourable Kenneth Madison, Hayne, ACQC. Treasonous political parties' definitions just in these 3 lines. Australia equals the treasonous political parties Australia that they created in 1973. Queen of Australia, a statutory entity created in 1973 by treasonous political parties. Commonwealth is the treasonous political party's Commonwealth, created in 1973. Honourable, there's nothing honourable in treason at all. AC, Order of Australia, an act of selling your soul to the treasonous political parties. QC, Queen's Counsel, the question must be asked, what Queen? As our primary law Queen is Elizabeth II, by the grace of God, of the United Kingdom, of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and our other realms and territories, Queen, head of the Commonwealth, defender of the faith, not the statutory Queen of Australia, created by the treasonous political parties. Greeting. Whereas Australia has one of the strongest and most stable banking, superannuation and financial services industries in the world, which performs a critical role in underpinning the Australian economy, and Australia's banking system is systematically strong with internationally recognised and world's best prudential regulation and oversight, and most Australians are consumers of banking, superannuation and other financial services. The superannuation system alone in Australia has created more than 2 trillion retirement savings pool, which continues to grow rapidly and which compels all working Australians to defer income today for their retirement. And all Australians have the right to be treated honestly and fairly in their dealings with banking, superannuation and financial service providers. The highest standards of conduct are critical to the good governance and corporate culture of those providers. Facts. This is all statutory. No Crown and constitutional authority under statutory seals. Now these are pocket constitutions that you can get from the so-called purported politicians that are nothing but traitors to the country, and they are free, so go and get one, people. And these are out of these pocket constitutions, all marked as honourable, but all sit in treason. Senator, the Honourable Stephen Parry. Senator, the Honourable George Brandis, QC, Attorney General. The Honourable Tony Smith, MP. What is an MP? Speaker of the House of Representatives. Right. Then you've Senator, the Honourable Scott Ryan. The Honourable Christian Porter. And the Honourable Tony Smith. Senator, the Honourable Sue Lines. The Honourable Mark Dreyfus, KCMP again. The Honourable Milton Dick, MP. They all look like very honest people, don't they? Not. All these treasonous so-called people above have their signatures within these political parties' pocket constitutions, which have copyrighted our primary law. Statutory Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act, an act to constitute the Commonwealth of Australia, 9th of July, copyright Commonwealth of Australia. Statutory Commonwealth of Australia, not our Commonwealth of Australia. How on earth can anyone alleging to be our elected leaders can take ownership by copyrighting and placing a statutory seal over the people's constitution? Get one of these pocket constitutions from the local so-called federal member's office free of charge. Apart from the political party's treasonous seal, their copyright, some facts are in the forward and overview. Some books are different. Forward, extracts. The Constitution is the foundation document of our nation. It constitutes the Commonwealth of Australia, hence its name. It creates and provides for the fundamental public institutions of one indissoluble federal Commonwealth under the Crown. Interesting, from 1973, the treasonous political parties don't recognise that we are one indissoluble federal Commonwealth anymore. The so-called heads of power are set out in Section 51. They include matters which are the particular concern of a nation, a national government. For instance, defence, taxation, currency and external affairs. Taxation and currency? Constitutional monarchy in the small letters, because it is statutory, it's not living, so it is not ours. Because Australia is a constitutional monarchy, the Constitution recognises the role of the Queen and creates the office of Governor-General as Her Majesty's representative, who may exercise the Queen's power in her name. Political parties don't recognise our Queen and her representative Governor-General, as they own and control their Governor-General of their Australia with their statutory Queen of Australia. Political parties like to tell us we are a democracy where we have no rights. Being a constitutional monarchy, we the people have every right known to man. For instance, the written constitution does not establish the office of Prime Minister or provide for the opposition. Overview and extracts. Separation of powers. Chapters 1, 2 and 3 of the Constitution confer the legislative, executive and judicial powers of the Commonwealth on three different bodies which are established by the Constitution: the Parliament, Chapter 1, the Executive Government, Chapter 2, and the Judicature is Chapter 3. The Crown and responsible government. Constitutional monarchy, still in small letters, as it's not ours, remember. As well as being a federation, Australia is a constitutional monarchy. Under this system of government, as the term suggests, the head of state of a country is a monarch whose functions are regulated by a constitution. The concept of the Crown pervades the constitution. For example, the Queen is part of the Parliament, Section 1, and is empowered to appoint the Governor-General as her representative, Section 2. The executive power of the Commonwealth is vested in the Queen and is exercisable by the Governor-General as her representative, Section 61. Statutory. Commonwealth of Australia, Constitution Act, Number 3. Salary of Governor-General, Number 3. There shall be payable to the Queen out of the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Commonwealth for the salary of the Governor-General an annual sum which, until the Parliament otherwise provides, shall be £10,000. Number 7. The Senate. The Senate shall be composed of senators for each state, directly chosen by the people of the state, voting until the Parliament otherwise provides, as one electorate, not by the political parties. Number 24. Constitution of House of Representatives. The House of Representatives shall be composed of members directly chosen by the people of the Commonwealth, and the number of such members shall be, as nearly as practicable, twice the number of the senators, not by political parties. Number 42. Oath or affirmation of allegiance. Every senator and every member of the House of Representatives shall, before taking his seat, make and subscribe before the Governor-General or some person authorised by him an oath or affirmation of allegiance in the form set forth in the schedule to this Constitution. No politician within these treasonous political parties has sworn the correct oath. Not one. Number 46. Penalty for sitting when disqualified. Until the Parliament otherwise provides, any person declared by this Constitution to be incapable of sitting as a senator or as a member of the House of Representatives shall, for every day on which he so sits, be liable to pay the sum of £100 to any person who sues for it in any court of competent jurisdiction. This proves all courts belong to treasonous political parties. No Crown and constitutional authority. Number 48. Allowance to members. Until the Parliament otherwise provides, each senator and each member of the House of Representatives shall receive an allowance of £400 a year, to be reckoned from the day on which he takes his seat. Number 58, royal assent to bills. When a proposed law passed by both houses of the Parliament is presented to the Governor-General for the Queen's assent, he shall declare, according to his discretion, but subject to this Constitution, that he assents in the Queen's name, or that he withholds assent, or that he reserves the law for the Queen's pleasure. Number 66, salaries of ministers. There shall be payable to the Queen out of the Consolidated Revenue Fund of the Commonwealth for the salaries of the ministers of state, not the state, an annual sum which, until the Parliament otherwise provides, shall not exceed £12,000 a year. The Commissioner enforcing treason submitted his final report to the Governor-General, sitting in treason without Crown and constitutional authority, on the 1st of February 2019. The final report was tabled in the Australian Parliament, sitting in treason, on the 4th of February 2019. The above sections are all the same within our primary law. Our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901, as proclaimed and gazetted. Political parties are not within our primary law, Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901, as proclaimed and gazetted. Political parties, Corporate Commonwealth of Australia, copyrighted Australia's Constitution under their Queen of Australia seal. No Crown and constitutional authority. How on earth anyone alleging to be our elected leaders can take ownership through copyright of the People's Constitution? Financial Services Royal Commission was a treasonous system to con the people. Think, people, nobody represents us. Queen paid in counterfeit dollars. Governor-General and state governors are paid in counterfeit dollars. All political parties are paid in counterfeit dollars. The Senate and the House of Representatives are paid in counterfeit dollars. All naval and military defence of the Commonwealth, federal and state police are to maintain the laws of the Commonwealth. No royal assent, Commonwealth since 1960. No royal assent for the states since 1985. Counterfeit dollars debt belongs to the treasonous political parties. All treasonous political parties sit under their own private party constitutions, therefore they don't represent us. All banks dealing with statutory counterfeit so-called Australian money are dealing in fraud. This Australia, created in 1973 by treasonous political parties, is not our Australia, as established under our Commonwealth of Australia Constitution Act 1901, as proclaimed and gazetted. This trademark seal can be seen in every note here shown. All notes are statutory. You can't trademark a royal warrant. And there's their rat and the chook, the kangaroo and the emu, with the Roman laurel wreath underneath. And it's United States Patent Trademark Office serial number 89000474. Treasonous political party, Australian Republic currency. Treasonous political party, Republican counterfeit money. This debt belongs to the treasonous political parties and their members. This debt doesn't belong to the people of our Commonwealth of Australia. Now, Dick's done a pretty good job here of taking some photos of these. You can see the rat and the chook, kangaroo and emu, which, remember, it's trademarked. It's Patent Trademark Office serial number. Alright, and it's all of them. On the $10 one here, or so-called $10, because that's a 2, but that's not a 0, is it? That's an O. And then you got your rat and your chook, and again on the 5 and O, not 5 and 0, 5 and O. And on that 1 and double O. Alright, figure 100. All banks are in partnership with the treasonous political parties, as you can't have one without the other. So what did the treasonous banks lend you? The treasonous taxman, courts, all cancels are extortion rackets, all charging you in counterfeit Australian dollars. Wake up, people. Politics is the science of fraud, and politicians are the professors of this science. The cold hard truth. Fraud and treason in any contract voids the contract. All contracts in dollars, housing, property, farms and businesses are void. All statutory governors generals since 1960, and all statutory state governors since 1965, and all statutory parliaments, all statutory governments, and all statutory banks, and all statutory judiciary are under treason, political party treason. And these are the 7 treasonous bastards that sold their souls, all within the political party's High Court of their Australia, are of knowledge, as in Lesk versus Commonwealth 1996. They tell us the dollar has no head of power. Treason backed up by the statutory political party courts, and their political party grows out of the barrel of a gun by their federal police mercenaries and state police mercenaries, paid in counterfeit fraudulent Australian dollars for their political party's slow coup. Treason still holds the death penalty. If you can find a good cop without going to the crematory, he will tell you, follow the money. We believe that this is the most important information that the people need to see. As being factual official government documentation, we can only show you what these traitors and criminals have done to us all, behind our backs. The rest is up to the people, by educating their friends and relatives the truth. Use these videos and documents to do this. You can also play a role in helping us get these videos out to the people, just by hitting the like button. So I ask you please, for the sake of our future generations.